Shares of AMD fell sharply in trading today after their data center numbers came out weaker than expectations in their earnings last night. That sent the price down $9.29 or minus 7.77% currently, and has the share price trading at the lowest level since November 2024. In the meantime, Broadcom shares are up sharply today, as are Nvidia shares bouncing higher as well. I'm going to go through each of those chip stocks and take a look at the technicals driving each and do a little comparison of what each has done since August of last year. So let's get started. I picked August because it was a time where the markets started to rotate to the upside off of a low. And if you take a look at AMD shares on the hourly chart, I'm going to look at the hourly chart on each of these pairs so that keeps it consistent in each. What we've seen is that the price is actually lower than the August 2024 low, and the price is also down sharply from the $174 high that we saw in the month of October for the last high for the stock's price. Since then, the price moved down to a low today of 106.50, and we are seeing the bounce to the upside. Now, what's sticking out to me technically, one is you see this trend line right here. This trend line connects to a number of different high prices, high price. Got close to it in trading yesterday before the gap to the downside in trading here today. Price has been able to stay below that trend line. That's a key negative bias for this stock. Also, you see this green line. This green line represents a 200-hour moving average, and although the price has moved above the 200-hour moving average here and here and here, each of the time it moved above was very short-lived. I think we had 2 hourly bars right here where the price was above that 200-hour moving average before moving back to the downside. So that too is bearish, and that 200-hour moving average now comes near the trend line. So just off the bat, we know that if the price can get above the trend line, if the price can get above the 200-hour moving average around the 120 level, that would be more bullish for AMD, but we're well below that level, currently trading around 110.24 at the moment. Is there a easier hurdle to get to and through? And if I were to look at this chart, I would say this area right here between 112.80 and 114.53 would be the easiest hurdle to get to and through. And it would be the minimum that AMD would have to get to and through and stay above to increase the bullish bias, at least in the short term. The reason that I picked this area because we have swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low right here. That formed this floor. We moved above it, fell below the floor, but then found another swing low, swing low, swing low through here, and moved higher again. So now we have this range right here, and then the move to the downside right here. We found support and moved up in trading yesterday before the earnings. Moving up toward that 200-hour moving average, moving up toward that trend line. So this area right here between 112.80 and 114.53 is the closest target that buyers would have to get above to give the buyers a chance, to give the buyers a victory against sellers. If they can't get above this level and then get above the 200-hour moving average, are they winning? No. They need to get above these two levels right here. If they can, then perhaps we can move up toward the 132-ish type level on a corrective move. That's not anywhere near the 175 high price that we saw in the month of at this high right here, but it would be a nice percentage move from about the 114.53 level up to 132. That's a good percentage move to the upside for AMD shares if all that can happen. It doesn't necessarily mean it will, but that would be a target on the top side. That still keep most of the bearishness. I mean, we're off of 175 and we're off the all-time high price, which I think was around $250. So so that gives you an idea of how far AMD has come to the downside from its high. But there's room to roam on the top side, but we need a victory. We need a victory, and we haven't seen it just yet. We need to get above that swing area. Let's take a look at Nvidia next. And same hourly chart, same time period. This is the August low right here. This is the high price that we saw at the beginning of this year. And as you can see, we're well above the low price from August. So that's better versus AMD. But we did have this big, huge gap off of that deep 6 news that took the price below the 100 and 200-hour moving average, and they're up here. We need to certainly get above those levels to increase the bullish bias. If I were to put a key swing area on the top side that would need to aspire to and through, it would be this yellow area right here. This yellow area was defined initially defined a ceiling right through here, 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 and here. Nice ceiling. We broke above the ceiling and moved higher here, came back down, retested it right here, moved to the upside, retested it here, here, retested it here. It's not necessarily running to the upside. We did have some failures here, but it did provide a pretty decent floor here before breaking to the upside, making our 2025 high. That moved back to the downside, found support again here, and tried to move higher. Then we get the deep six news, push the price below that level, and what do? We use this level as resistance right here. So you can see the importance of the 129.28 level up to the 131 or 32, I guess it's the 32.30 level would be the top side right here. This is this range right here. We need to get above those levels to show that the buyers can take back control from the sellers. Absent that, and the sellers are more in control in shares of Nvidia, even off of the low price that we saw near the 115-ish, 114 type level down here. The sellers are still in control below this level, so be aware of that level on this area on the top side. Close support for this pair right now for short-term traders would be to stay above the 121.91 level. A stop on the downside would be a break back below the 114.54 level, the low price that we saw in trading here yesterday. Came close to that level, but found support buyers. You can even go back to this area right through here where we found other different swing lows coming in place. So this is a reason, a key level on the downside that did hold support. So if you really like the market and you like the 50% retracement level right here as a risk defining level, or this level right here, you can use these levels as support with the hopes that we get back above this swing area on the top side for Nvidia. That would increase the bullish bias even more for that stock. Finally, let's take a look at Broadcom, and compared to Nvidia and AMD, the lows way down here in August. The high price was here in the month of, December for this stock. And the corrective move off of the high came down to and through the 38.2% retracement of that move at $204.75. But only for a day or so of trading before the market gapped to the upside. And in trading here today, what did we do? We moved above the 200 and 100-hour moving averages, the green and blue lines in this chart. That was more bullish, and as long as the price remains above these two moving averages, the bias remains to the upside. We can aspire toward our high prices that we saw in December and January up here near the $250 to $252 range up on the top side if the price can stay above the 100 200-hour moving average. If we move below these moving averages, however, we could see a rotation back to the downside, and the failure to get and stay above those moving averages, break below the low right here, and then move back down toward the 38.2%, which is always a possibility. But right now, the buyers are in firm control. They are showing the strength in this stock. This stock looks the best from a technical perspective, but it also just broke above those moving averages. So it's got work to do to get up to the highs, but it is still the most bullish. So AMD is the worst performing stock, but hope springs eternal that it could bottom and that it's potentially oversold and can get above certain levels. Nvidia, we know its story about Deep Six, who fell below the 100 and 200-hour moving average. We need to get above those levels to increase the bullish bias. And Broadcom, it's already above its 100 and 200-hour moving average. It's looking pretty good from a technical perspective. My name is Greg Michalowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.